So roads are being blocked, airports are being shut down, and for some reason the media is not covering this. For some reason this is receiving no coverage, probably because this is engineered and they want this coming to a city town near you. All right, we've already seen destruction similar to this in the United States before, but this is even worse. All right, mines are being shut down, airports are being shut down, roadways are being shut down, and the media is having a major blackout on this situation. All right, so we've talked about Brazil before. Brazil is having a similar situation where they're shutting down the roads, shutting down ports. All these things are being affected, but this is also happening in Peru right now. All right, so Peru declares a 30-day state of emergency amid protests at president's arrest. Measures will suspend free movement over Christmas holidays as supporter of ousted Pedro Castillo take to the streets. All right, and the reason why this is so important is because people have been protesting and people have been shutting down the airports, the roads, and Peru is a massive mineral producer. All right, the reason why this affects you in your life, you might be thinking, why does this matter for me? Peru is a massive producer of minerals. So Peru copper mines face transport delays as protests spread. So Peru is the second biggest copper producer in the world. Peru is also the third biggest silver producer in the world. All right, Peru has steadily grown its silver production levels and has maintained its second place ranking from 2018 to 2019. One interesting thing I thought here is that they produce around 3,000 to 4,000 metric tons a year, but they only have 91,000 metric tons, and they have the largest silver reserves in the world. So that's only approximately 30 years of producing silver at this rate. That's really not that long. All right. They are also the seventh biggest gold producer in the world. This is why this matters to you. This is why you need to know about this story. And it could happen to you too. This draconian state of emergency that they implemented is very bad as well. We will get into the details in that in just a second too, because they're suspending essentially the constitution in Peru for this emergency as well. So Peru is also the third biggest zinc producer. So seventh biggest gold producer, third biggest silver producer, third biggest zinc producer, and second biggest copper producer. This is a massive country, and they have massive mineral reserves and mineral deposits, and they have the largest silver deposits in the entire world, and their ports are being shut down right now, and this is going to affect global supply chains. All right, so just to dive into what's happening at this port, protests against the ouster of President Pedro Castillo are starting to disrupt the movement of staff and supplies at Sierra Verde and other copper mines in Peru, the number two supplier of the metal. While on site operation at mines have been unaffected by roadblocks and airports, on site operations have been unaffected. Roadblocks and airports and rail shutdowns, off-site logistics have encountered some delays. Sierra Verde, near the southwestern city of Arequipa, is experiencing holdups in transport of people, supplies, and products. Owner Freeport McMoran Inc. said in an email late Monday. All right. Dozens of roads remain blocked in northern, eastern, and southern regions. Whether logistical headaches for mines turn into potentially market moving shipments or production constraints will depend on how long protests last and whether they intensify. All right. And if you didn't know, these protests started because there was an election there. People did not agree with the election. They've been protesting it. And then the president there, they were saying he was attempting a coup, right? He was attempting to circumvent the government here because he was refusing to get out. They were going to impeach him, and they were saying that he attempted a coup. He was trying to circumvent the government and implement a new Congress. All this stuff. It's a big show, big political mess over there, all right? But the point is that this could affect global markets and these state of emergencies, these situations where there are sketchy things going on. There's coups going on. There's people. The president there got arrested. They're saying he's attempting a coup to overthrow the government, and they were going to vote him out. All this stuff. He was trying to do it before the vote. All this sketchy stuff is grounds for them to implement states of emergency. When they implement this crisis, they're the ones orchestrating it. Then they implement the emergency where they suspend the Constitution and suspend your rights. They are able to go into people's houses right now too. All right, so let's dive deeper into this. So it's not only just the mines that are being shut down, it's also the airports and travel as well. All right, so Peru's new government has declared a 30-day national state of emergency to quell violent demonstrations which have shaken the country following the ousting and arrest of President Pedro Castillo a week ago. The measure announced on Wednesday suspends the right to gather and move freely across the entire country and comes just before the Christmas holidays when people typically travel extensively to visit family. The declaration also empowers the police to search people's homes without permission or judicial order. They said a nightly curfew could also be imposed. Quote, with this measure, we seek to guarantee order and the continuity of economic activities and the protection of millions of families, Peru's defense minister Luis Ortolrola tweeted after the decision was reached in a cabinet meeting. He added the government had not decided whether a curfew would be imposed. But the key part here is empowers police to search people's homes without permission or judicial order. Why? I don't understand why they need that power just because people are protesting. Maybe a power to, arrest people that are blocking any kind of critical infrastructure at roadways or anything like that. But why do you need an emergency power to just search people's home without permission or judicial order, essentially without a warrant? That one kind of confused me. Wasn't sure why they needed that kind of emergency power. All right. And that could easily be implemented here. And we've seen crazy states of emergencies implemented here. Also, 5 different airports in Peru remain closed due to riots. A series of protests resulting from the political crisis in the Republic of Peru. 5 airports have been temporarily closed on different days of the week since Sunday, December 11th. ANS was attacked on Sunday, the 11th, where demonstrators met with strong police resistance and clashes left 2 perished. AQP terminal was attacked on the morning of Monday 12th, and although the police operation prevented the takeover of the airport, it is not clear whether it will be able to return to normal operations. On Tuesday the 13th, CUS followed, where the airport was immediately closed and operations were suspended because the safety of the passengers and workers was not guaranteed. All right, so things are deteriorating, things are escalating as well. Airports getting shut down, that's very serious. Airports are a high security target, and the fact that they are able to get into these airports and shut them down 5 different ones multiple days in a row is very concerning, and it's very concerning for the markets as well. All right, and it's just concerning too as like a social experiment. What will people do when it hits the fan? What will people do when things collapse, when things get bad? And this is what will happen. We will see airports shut down, railways shut down, roads shut down, good movement shut down. In Brazil, they're preventing the farmers from harvesting their corn and bean crops right now. They're not intentionally, I hope not, I don't think. It didn't seem like it, but an unintentional consequence is that the roads are blocked and the farmers can't make their harvest and get to their warehouses, their grain warehouses. All right. So let me know what you guys think about all this. The media has not been reporting on what's happening in Peru. All right. Have you heard about this news? If you haven't, definitely hit that thumbs up. Definitely hit that sub too. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a big old blessed day.